Action!
Good afternoon, everybody. It's a lovely day in the villages here in Florida. It's not quite snowing yet. We're expecting that for Christmas. We should be having a wonderful white Christmas. Not. But that's okay. It's going to be cold and chilly, and we'll get the fire going. Today, we are doing the EY instruments, but there's a lot of good information today that can be used on any instrument. I'm working today on the fabulous Journey, the EY 320. Do try to keep yourselves muted throughout. If you have a question for me, or I'm going too fast, or you lost me someplace, go ahead and unmute yourself and scream at me. I'm absolutely okay with that. We're going to do a number of Christmas songs today, and this will be our final edition, I believe, for Product Workshop Christmas editions. So next week, whoever has the product workshops will probably get back to some regular music. Um, but Christmas music is always nice, so hopefully you'll get some good setups today. The first thing, no matter what organ you have, is to do your homework and go through all your song setups and search out the Christmas songs. Write them down. Write down what backgrounds are being used. Write down what sounds are being used, because you may wish to use some of those backgrounds, by the way, tempos as well. You may wish to use those some of those song setups for other Christmas songs that maybe aren't in the song setup. So that's the first line of defense for finding things for Christmas, is to see what you have. Now, one thing I have to remind you of, if you have a journey and you start going to song setup, what's going to happen is no matter which direction you go in, it's going to start with the A's, because there's two song setup lists in the journey. So if I tell you that Frosty the Snowman is in there and you're scrolling through and you say, no, it's not, that's because you're in the other list. So just keep on scrolling and eventually it will come around. So you've got two lists and they start at the A's and go this way. So if you think you're missing a song, go in the other direction and try to find it. Okay? So that's an important one right there for the journey. Now, if you see presets in your song setup that you like, for example, let's scroll to anything. Let's scroll to Frosty if it's in here. Frosty the Snowman, that's the song we did this morning. And you touch select, and you see that it's country swing, and you've got a country guitar. Let's say you love that, and you want to do other Christmas songs that maybe Willie Nelson did, and you save it. Pull it out and save it. How do I do that? Well, I want you to learn how to save things, because that's going to be important also in this nice video that we do today. Memorize. You're going to find your memorize button. It's red. You're going to touch memorize. You're going to touch your bank A. And then you're going to decide, do I want the rhythm or do I only want the sound? Maybe you're just stealing the sound for another song. So if you do not want the style, leave it on no. You see that there's some little arrows that point down around the no. So you want to point the down scroll, and that's going to change it to with. Style with or style no. You choose which one is best. As far as transpose, you've got little arrows that go up around the transpose. That means that you touch the up scroll with transpose or not. And that's not all that important in case you're singing a song in a different key, or you're doing an arrangement where you want to make a step up with the transpose. That would be important for that. Once you have everything the way you want it, then you touch the memorize button and turn it off, and it will say memorized to preset A0, because I didn't touch one of the 1 through 8s. Okay, so you can save then as many different things, A through 0 plus 1 through 8 or 1 through 10, depending on how many of them you have. And then if you've got the fanfare or the journey, once you get enough of them, you can bank them. You can put them into your bank storage. That's an internal storage. And you can store all kinds of stuff. And then you can do it again and do 8 or 9 more presets. So you can steal them from other songs. That's one of the easiest ways to get good Christmas sounds is to just steal some of them from other song setups that are already there. All right. Also, find some sounds that you might like in the category setups. And if you want to steal them, you may. Or just write down the ones that you like. For example, Symphonic 0 is orchestral with bells. That's good for lots of stuff. So if you remember where your favorites are, or again, save them into the A bank if that's what you like. Or Jazz Swing number 6 is... That is perfect. That's your block harmony, your piano, your vibes, your guitar. That is perfect for the Christmas song, which we'll be playing later. So if you don't have some of the song setups, you can choose some things from your category setups. And also, if you want to save them into the bank so you know where they are, go ahead. Or just write them down. Write down what your favorite ones are. So those are just some quick tips, no matter which organ you're on, to get started with finding backgrounds for your Christmas music. You can also do a lot of Christmas music just on the easy button. If you've got hymns like Silent Night, maybe you don't want any of your rhythms. Just put your easy button on and try a few things. Try some of your general setups. And just do it on easy. That's also a wonderful way to play Christmas music. Okay, the first song I'm going to do is O Little Town of Bethlehem. And I'm going to use Smooth Guitarist, and I'm going to put it on Guitars 4/4, because some of you have more than one Smooth Guitarist. Guitars 4/4, and I'm going to put the tempo on 84 beats per minute. These are just suggestions, but they're pretty good. Style setup. Now your style setup is the I don't know what I'm doing button when you're on a rhythm. What that's going to do is change all 8 of these to be fabulous setups for whatever rhythm you're on. Not necessarily for your song, but for whatever rhythm you're on. So that changes all of these top and bottom for some of your favorite songs. And we're going to use style setup 0 and style setup number 7. 0 is an acoustic guitar. Now what happens when you're using a guitarist or a pianist on organs like the Fanfare and the Journey? Not so much on the Inspire and the Rialto. They pretty much come up full band. If you're on style setup 0, 1, or 2, there's no drums. I happen to like drummers. I happen to be married to a drummer. So I'm going to put my drums up to 10 because I like the drummers. Add the drums. I also want to hear a chord in my lower left. And remember that your pianist and guitarist backgrounds, if you are on the first couple of setups, are going to come up with no left-hand chord sound. So you want to find where it says lower left, and sometimes it'll say flutes, ensemble, and more. They're usually gray buttons. Find them on your instrument, and just choose something that's going to be good for your lower left. Flutes and ensembles are always a good choice to give you a nice chord. And play something and see what you think. And if your hum is not loud enough, go to your volumes. Your graphic mixer, remember, is nothing more than volumes. And the one that says lower is the volume for your lower left-hand chord. Not just the entire lower keyboard, but just that humming left-hand chord. If you want to make that louder, make sure to raise your volume. So we're going to play O Little Town of Bethlehem. And we're going to use the song setup 0, and then we're also going to use song setup 7, or style setup, excuse me. Now we're going to go to number 7. Okay, so that's using one of your guitarist backgrounds for O Little Town of Bethlehem. And those guitarist and pianist backgrounds are beautiful for some of your Christmas hymns. And again, if you don't feel like just using the easy, sometimes putting on just one of those guitarist or pianist backgrounds is perfect for your Christmas hymns. The next song is the Christmas song, Chestnuts Roasting. Ah, yes. Some of you will have this in song setup, and that's the perfect place to start. Guess what? It's not in this one. So I am going to go to my smooth, full band, and I'm going to look for Serenade. Now, if you don't have Serenade, try one of your other smooth full bands, and it should be absolutely okay. All right, it comes up with the Swing Serenade, and we're going to take the Orchestra Plus off. Why do I want to do that? Well, listen to what the Orchestra Plus actually sounds like. Orchestra Plus is found on the left-hand side of the instrument, and that is all what I call the frou-frou stuff that's in the middle of the background. That's the stuff. Wah, 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 wah. That's what the Orchestra Plus does. So if you turn that off, this is what's left over. And this is perfect for the Christmas song. Okay, now I'm going to put it at 70 beats per minute. It comes up 74, close enough. And I'm also going to add a golden harp. Wow. Okay. But first I'm going to go to the Jazz Swing number 6. Remember I told you that was perfect for the Christmas song? It is. And I'm going to make sure the golden harp is over here. If I add that, it only works when I put on a chord. So this is what happens when I use a golden harp. Isn't that beautiful? I'm going to use that for the second part of the song. Okay. Now I'm going to put the golden harp on. That's just a real quick, easy way to get a fabulous sound. It's that Jazz Swing number 6, which gives you that block harmony, and it's perfect for the Christmas song. Now, if you don't have that, Smooth Pianist, which is hard songs, or Smooth Guitarist works very well. Thank you for bringing that up on the screen, Robert. And you may also use category Jazz Swing. Since you're there, you could go to number 5, so you're not on the same sound all the time, and have some beautiful vibes. You can also then add an ensemble. Why would you want to add an ensemble? Well, your vibes, eventually, now we talked about this in the class this morning, that sound is eventually going to decay and die away. So if you find some strings, and strings in the journey are in the ensemble. You've got an organ category to the right of the screen where you have vibrotrems, flutes, which are organ sounds, and ensemble, which would be strings, and vocals, things like that. And you could go to one of the strings, and then you still have your vibes, but the strings are not going to stop. So it kind of smooths out everything. All right, so if we play, I think I lost my, I lost my smooth guitarist. Okay, and if you like the sounds, if you like it with the background, save it into a preset, then you'll have it. Or if you like the sound, but you think you might use it for another song, memorize it to a preset, save it to a preset. How do we do that? Well, first of all, keep a piece of paper next to your organ so that you can write them down. You don't want to make a mistake and go, am I in A1 or am I in A3? Can't remember. Make sure you know what you're saving so that you can go back in and retrieve them and you didn't accidentally erase something. So if I wanted to just save that sound, which was the Jazz Swing No. 5 vibes, along with the ensemble strings 8, I could save just that sound so I could retrieve it later for another Christmas sound. So how do I do that? Find your Memorize button. It's the red one. Memorize, A, and pick a number. But make sure you have your paper next door and you're looking at which one you're not in. A1, okay. With style, oh no, I just want to save the sound. With transpose, oh no, just want to save the sound. So then I turn the Memorize button off, and now I have setup number 1, Memorize 2, is anytime I want to pull that up, I can just go A1 with any rhythm. And now I would have that beautiful vibes with a string underneath it, and it's a fabulous Christmas sound. Okay, let's go on to the next song. Let's do some rock and roll. How about Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree? 155 beats a minute, and if you go to your rock and roll 50s guitar rock, it's under rock guitarist.
Don,
Yes.
someone's got their hand up. Jeannie?
So, oh, okay. Jeannie, what can I help you with?
Oh, I suppose I should unmute myself here.
I think you are.
Am I unmuted?
Yep, I can hear
Okay.
you.
When you're using the golden harp, I noticed yours was gliding up and gliding down, but there's also a I think they call it virtuoso, where it goes all over the place. Now, my question is, two questions. Number one, I haven't found a song that sounds good with that. And secondly, can you make the golden harp louder?
On certain organs you can. On this one, I don't believe you can. If it's not loud enough, on this one you can't change sounds either. I would, if it's not loud enough, then you have to bring everything else down in volume. Okay? So you'd go to your graphic mixer and you'd bring down the bass, bring down your style, bring down your drums, bring down your lower, so that everything sounds a little bit lower so the golden harp stays up.
Okay.
That would be my best advice to you. And don't choose rhythms that have too much stuff going on, because then the golden harp it's hard to hear. And the up and down pattern is just that. It's a pattern.
Right.
Usually golden harp, the very first one, it'll say up, down. And that's what gives you that up, down stuff. Let me turn the rock off and go up and down. Okay? You can also have it go up only, or down only. This is the virtuoso, where it goes all over. And all that is a pattern. It's a pattern. And the tempo that you have it on is going to determine how fast or slow this goes. So if you're on a slower song, it is going to go slower. If you're on the easy only, you can still adjust the tempo of the virtuoso. So if you don't want it going this fast, you can lower the tempo. If you don't want Silent Night to sound like you've got people racing around behind the baby Jesus, turn the golden harp tempo down, because tempo does affect that. All I have on right now is easy and golden harp. And you can adjust the tempo to go as fast or as slow as you want. Now, if you're on a rhythm, it's going to go as fast as your rhythm is going. And there's some backgrounds, probably like the rock and roll that I'm about to play, that you don't want a golden harp. But you can try that too and just see if it works for you. For rock and roll, the 50s guitar rock, which comes under rock guitarist, 50s guitar rock. All right. And what am I going to set that at? Style setup, which is your I don't know what I'm doing button. It changes all of these to be perfect sounds for the rock guitarist. And I want number 5, which gives me a nice 50s rock guitar. And that's always pretty good for rock and roll. And on the bottom, I have a growling sax. Okay, so super 50s. Super 50s. So what are we going to do with this? I want to do a little bit of gliding, and I don't always like to use my foot pedal. My foot pedal is a little difficult because sometimes your volume does crazy things. So on these fabulous instruments, you have pedal magic. Pedal magic can be set to numerous things, and I'm going to put mine on glide. How do I change it? Just keep pushing the button. Find your pedal magic on the left-hand side. And just keep pushing the button. See how the lights change here? And put it on glide sustain. Now, no matter what long pedal I use, ooh, I can make a nice glide. Step on the pedal, play the note, release the foot. It's a lot easier than using the kick switch. So that's one of the features that I wanted to show off. I also want to show off the fake it. Fake it is something you want to do in the middle of the song when you want to play a solo. When that sax player, he's going to step out and he's going to do some crazy rock and roll stuff. And Robert, he used to play sax, so we can have Robert actually pretend like Robert's stepping out and playing that sax. Rocking around. Okay, here comes the saxophone player, and he's going to do some faking stuff. Now, how do you do fake it? Just turn it on, and you can either noodle, or you can hold down a black key. Just be sure you change some chords. When you're ready to go back to the song, you just turn your fake it off and continue playing. Any questions about pedal magic or fake it?
Yes, Dawn, you have a question from
Okay.
Mom.
Oh, Mom. Hi, Mom. Go ahead, Mom.
I have a question.
Okay, somebody's got an icon that says Mom, and I'm not sure who it is. Is that you, Linda? No? Who's got the question?
You're unmuted. We can hear you. Go ahead.
I have a question, Dawn.
Okay.
Just to make sure I'm doing this correctly. If I'm going to be using glide sustain, I have to use my fill manually. I cannot use it on the pedal. Is that correct?
Correct. You cannot put both of them on at the same time. Yeah, so if you're using your long pedals for fill, then you're going to have to do the glide with the foot,
Manual.
or vice versa.
Okay.
Yeah, you cannot put the glide on one and the fill on another long pedal.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one quick question. If I have a setup and I'm going to be using a piano, can I change the piano? Say I don't like the piano that's in setup number 3. Can I go over and scroll down and hit like Dolce piano that I really like?
Yeah, well, yeah, what you have to do is you have to see where your piano is coming from. And if it's coming from your piano button, absolutely you can scroll through and find one that you like. Now, just beware.
Lost you.
Somebody muted me. Yes, you can change the sound of the piano, but just beware. If you are changing presets, it won't permanently change the piano. It'll change it just while you're on it. If that's what you like, if you like a different piano for that,
Right.
make sure you save it to a bank with the style, and then you'll have it all set to go.
Got it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah, you can tweak any one of these setups. You can change whatever you like. Oh, Peg, yours says Mom. Did you know it was you? I didn't have it in gallery view, so I did not know that was you, Miss Peg. Okay. The next song that we're going to play is Christmas Time Is Here, and this is the one from the Peanuts. This is a really pretty song. It is a waltz.
This is my favorite one.
Yeah, this is Sean's favorite one. Yep. So I'm going to use the lullaby. And where do I find the lullaby? It's in the pianist backgrounds. Now, for those of you who don't have lullaby in your pianist waltzes, see one of us after class. We can fix you up. It is in this beautiful, beautiful EY320 Journey. So, and it's available for sale for anybody that would like it. That's my commercial. Or you can also use guitars 3/4. And what I'm going to use on this is category jazz swing number 5. We've used that one before. We used that one for the vibes. But we're going to use the lower this time because it's a beautiful flute. Now, when I started playing this, it's a little piercing on the ears. So now we're going to take a look at another button. How can I fix this? How can I tweak this sound? If you go to your little square here, it says lower right. And you have 4 buttons, 3 black ones that tell you where the sounds are going, which sounds are going where. But then you have a gray one that says octave down. So if I do not want that flute playing so high, if I play it here, I'm probably going to run out of notes because the split is right here. So I'm going to use the octave down button, and now it's going to sound like this. Ah, much prettier, isn't it? So if you see that one of your sounds is too high, especially when you're moving from the diagonal from this to this keyboard, if it's too high, change it with your octave down button. Octave down. Okay, and I won't play the whole thing here. Let's see how fast I want to go. 75. Make sure you've got your drums on. And we're going to play Christmas Time Is Here. It's a beautiful song. Other sounds that you can use would be the beautiful bells. And if you go to style setup 0, you do have some beautiful bells on this one. Make sure your drums are still at the top. Now if I want to go back to that one, I just go to number 5. I love the lullaby on that one. It's just so pretty. Okay. Now I'm on page 2 of the worksheet, and we have a song called The Most Wonderful Time of the Year. This one goes kind of fast. It's another waltz, but this one's going to go quite a bit faster than that 75 that we were just on. Oh, sorry about that, Mr. Elf. I got to cover you up a little bit. So we're going to go to a waltz full band. And what you're looking for is a jazz waltz. A jazz waltz. That's going to be the best for you. And we would like it at about 160. Or slower if you want. Does not matter. And song setup, I should say style setup. I see SS and it's song setup for me. But style setup. That's your I don't know what I'm doing button. Number 0 is a pretty trombone, because remember, when you're on something that's going to be nice and upbeat, horns are fabulous Christmas sounds. That's number 0. If I go to number 7, play that an octave up, you've got some saxophones. Again, lots of horns are good on this one. Number 8 gives you some brass. That's always good on this one as well. Now, I'm also going to play number 6, which is vibes. And when I start playing, and I'm going to show you how loud this background can be. There's a lot of stuff going on. And if I'm playing vibes, you might not hear them. I got too much stuff going on in the background. I like it all, it's just a little much. So on these beautiful instruments, there is a quick way to fix that. There is something called balance. It is to the left. I love this button because you can use it at the drop of a hat. If all of a sudden you switch from that loud brass or the loud saxophones and you bring it down to the vibes and it's like, oops, all of a sudden I lost my melody. You can bring your melody level up by touching melody, and you'll see that the lights on the balance will change. Now, you don't want to bring it all the way up because then you lose everything on the bottom. But you want to just bring that up a little bit, and now it's going to balance it out a little bit easier. And so you don't have to worry about, let me see, I'm going to lower this and lower this. No, just bring the melody up. Use your balance. It's so fast. It's so easy. This is one of the best things they ever put on the instruments. I love it. The most wonderful time of the year. That's better. Now I'm going to go back to, let's see, what else did I want to use on that? Let's use style setup 0, which is that trombone. Now I'm going to set my balance back to 0 so that it does balance better. I'm going to end up on number 8. I'm just using the style setup presets. Sometimes they're absolutely perfect, even for your Christmas songs. Okay, sometimes those style setups are perfect. Now you could have also gone to the one that we used before, which was the jazz swing number 6. That also would have worked very well for this. That's perfect for this. Okay. Any questions about this? Any questions? Nobody's hand up at this time? My next song is Mary, Did You Know?
I don't see any questions.
Good. If you've learned one thing today, you're 100% successful. One thing. If you've learned more than one thing, wow, that means I'm doing an okay job. Mary, Did You Know? Originally, this was played at 53 beats a minute, but it's also done in double time because they want the background to be a little quieter. You can use a gospel pianist on this, gospel ballad, or a smooth full band, which is an easy 4/4. I think that's the one I actually prefer. And I'm going to bring my tempo down to 53. Now remember, I'm playing this in cut time. I'm playing it in double. I'm now going to use another one of my category setups. I'm going to use the symphonic number 2, which gives me a beautiful violin. I'm also going to use category setup symphonic number 3, which is a chamber orchestra, and a flute on the bottom. Okay. What else did I use? Number 0. You have to remember that these categories, if you do not use anything 1 through 8, they have a 0, a category, a 0 sound as well. So if you just have on the symphonic, and if you remember, if you go to style setup turns that off. If I turn the symphonic on, it turns my style setup off. So you can have either or. You cannot have both. But symphonic by itself is a sound, and it is a very beautiful orchestra plus bell and a nice oboe on the bottom. So the symphonic sounds are absolutely fabulous for Mary, Did You Know? And then you just have to mark in your music where you want to change them. I am also going to make use of the golden harp during this. So instead of just having, without the golden harp, it sounds like this. With the golden harp, now remember, it's only going 53. So all it's doing is it's adding some up and down, but very slowly. So it's just adding, and it's adding to that background that we're doing. So let's do symphonic number 3. The chamber orchestra. Now I'm going to go to category number 2. Okay, now let's go to category 0. All I did was turn off all of these, and symphonic number 0 is right now. Remember, there's an oboe on the bottom. So just by adding a golden harp and using the symphonic setups, you have some fabulous things that you can use for something like Mary Did You Know? And remember, if you hear something that you like, go, oh, I think that would be good in a different song. Go ahead and save it, memorize it into a preset, and you'll have it for later. Just make sure you keep some notes so that you remember where you're putting things.
So, Dawn, we have a question in the
Okay.
chat. It
Okay.
says, where do we get the music and worksheet? Will that be available on the YouTube?
Robert, you can, I
I
think.
can get the worksheet. I can't get the music
Okay.
because I don't want to break the law.
Yep. There's your answer.
Well, it's not the law, it's the ASCAP.
Yeah, they don't like it when we do that.
Yeah.
9215.
Yeah, you can get it online. There are all sorts of different music books or Christmas books and order things online these days.
Or through our PA.
Or call your PA. Absolutely. They can help you with things and help you with what I've been telling you today. Oh Holy Night is my next song. I pulled this one in because, and we did this in our advanced class, this is a 6/8 time song. And a lot of people confuse 6/8 with waltzes because it translates to a waltz if you do the math. 6/8, 3/4, but the feel is different. As a matter of fact, this is written in 4/4, but the feel is a 6/8 feel. Well, what's the difference? If I go to a smooth and have something in smooth, it's going to give me a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. If I do the same thing with a ballad, it's going to change it up. The inside beats are now 3s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's what we're looking for. As a matter of fact, on the larger instruments, there is a signature background called O Holy Night. I'm not sure if it's on the Rialto or not. If it is, it comes up at 178. Well, we're going to do Wonderful World because most of you have Wonderful World, and we're going to do it at 60 beats a minute.
It comes up on the Rialto.
It does?
Yes.
As the O Holy Night?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Same with Inspire.
Oh, it does with the Inspire as well? Okay.
Yep.
And those of us that have the Journey and the Fanfare, we have to put it on Wonderful World. So that's okay. We can do that. Now, style setup is your I don't know what I'm doing button for Wonderful World. Brings it up to vibes and a jazz flute. There we go again, using those same sounds because vibes and flutes are fabulous Christmas sounds. If you go to number 8, it gives you the full orchestra. Because almost like Mary Did You Know, the same sounds are going to work. But on O Holy Night, your background has to be completely different so that it will make the song flow. So for this song, it's Wonderful World at 60. And I am going to use a feature on the Pedal Magic called Fill. Because remember, you can't put glide and fill at the same time. So if you put fill, now all I have to do is touch one of the long pedals, and I get all those nice drums. And it's a lot easier to use your foot on a long pedal than it is to be kicking your foot sideways on the foot switches. So we're putting the Pedal Magic on fill. Transpose. Okay, why would I want to use transpose? Transpose is something you can use to build an arrangement. So you want to find where your transpose is. It happens to be right here on this instrument, on the left-hand side, right between the lower left and your memorize button for your banks. You have a sharp sign on one, which means it's going to go up, and a flat sign on the other side, which means it's going to send it down. All it's doing is it's sending the entire keyboard, up half a step every time you touch it. So if I'm on this chord and I touch the up one, same chord gives me this. Okay, so and if you go down, same thing. So it's a fabulous way to build an arrangement. Usually at the end of a song, when you want to go back and play it again, that's when you would want to use your transpose. I'm also going to show you what a general setup is. A general setup, we've talked about style setups. Style setup changes all of these to fabulous sounds for my rhythm. My category setups turn my style setup off, and now I get all pretty symphonic sounds or pretty jazz swing sounds or some other ones, depending on how many more of them you have. But your general setups are when I turn off all the categories, and I turn off the style setup, and I turn off the A bank. Now these 1 through 8 are general setups. And some of them are absolutely fabulous for your Christmas sounds. As a matter of fact, I love number 5 because it's an easy way to find a beautiful choir. And on the bottom, you have some Christmas chimes. So instead of going up here and searching for your chimes or searching for some beautiful choirs, find what you need in the setups. That's why they're here. That's why Lowry put all these things right here to make you finding your sounds easier. Much easier. If you see something you like and it's hard to get to, like if you have to push a more and scroll and then if it's going to be too hard to get to, find it and save it. If it's in a song setup and you like it, find it and save it. So they're here. So they're at your one button pushes. That's what you're looking for, is your one button pushes. All right, so I'm going to start with Style Setup 7, which is my vibes and flute, for Oh Holy Night at 60 beats a minute with my fill-in on my foot pedal. Then I'm going to go to the bottom. Okay, now I'm going to go to number 8, which is the full orchestra. Lots of fill-in. Transpose. Now I'm going to go to number 5 and have my choir on the general setups. Now some chimes. Lots of fill-in.
Very nice.
Okay, and we are out of time. I did have one more song. It's Frosty the Snowman. Play it on country, full band, your country swing, and just use what's there. Your sounds, your song style setups are going to give you a beautiful guitar.
Well,
So,
before we wrap up, I've got a couple wonderful announcements that I'll make.
okay.
Before we wrap up. If you'd like, you can maybe play a song on our way out afterward, but let me do this. Whoa, there we go. Hi, everybody. You know me as John. If you're anything like me, one Christmas tree just isn't enough. So I've got 3 here. Just a couple announcements before we wrap up. I wanted to make sure you're all aware of this. This is kind of a cool thing we've been trying out, and it's been really, really good for us. You may have heard the name Patreon before. Basically, in short, what it is, I'll just show it to you a little bit. we get a lot of questions about it. Basically, what it is, in short, is just a way to contribute to some of your favorite organizations. And I think for most of you here, probably all of you, your favorite organization of all is Fletcher Music Centers. So you can contribute to us. And another thing, it's basically, to me, just a great, great place to put all of our offerings in one convenient spot. So as you scroll down, you could even just pull this site up every morning and see what have they done recently? What have they posted recently? And it's just all of our classes, every single thing that we do, that we upload here in order. So you could just see whatever's the most recent toward the top. And if you contribute to us, we also do these special videos that you can't get anywhere else, that you kind of unlock special videos as well, little tips and tricks and extra concerts, things like that. Joni's quick tip. So that's pretty cool. So
That's
just a way for us to.
That was a very cool tip, by the way.
That was a good what?
That particular one, Joni's quick tip, song setup tip, is probably worth the price of admission.
I think so too.
I learned something in 5 minutes or less.
Yep. Anything with Joni's wonderful. The only other thing I'll mention too is we have tomorrow. Let me close this. I've got too many things on my screen to see, but I think you can see that. A virtual concert. It is our final Christmas concert of the year.
Uh-oh, it's doing what mine is doing. I don't see it. It's black screen.
It's a blank screen.
It is. See,
well, keep in mind, tomorrow we have a concert on Zoom. Just know that. And we have some of our best performers and Robert Roman. So if you come to that Zoom concert, we got Carrie Price, Joni Monero, and a lady who looks familiar to you if you've been paying attention to today's class. It is Dawn Casanova.
Can you see that on the screen there?
Yep. Okay. And that is tomorrow, 2 p.m. Arizona time. And what is that, 4 p.m. Florida time. And if you're in between, just do a little bit of math and work that out. So that is about all I've got for announcements. Do you have anything else, Robert?
Yeah, I do. And then we'll turn it over to Don. We are in our year-end biggest celebration ever. And so just remember, support your Fletcher Music Club, and we'll take very good care of you when you're looking to purchase your next instrument. I'll just be right to the point. Anyway, having said that, Don did a fabulous class today. I will post on the class tonight on YouTube, and then it'll show you how you can acquire that handout that I've been screen sharing throughout the class. And I believe there was one more on there. Did you get to that one? Or did I?
I did not.
Oh, well, then you might want to go up and search for how to get that, because then you'll be able to get that. And the education with Don will continue even after the class is done.
Absolutely.
So that said, back to you, Miss Don Casanova. Oh, wait, we got a hand raised. Beverly, you have a quick question?
I do. I have a quick question. I'm a little confused by, did you want a donation in any amount?
The website, the Patreon he was talking about, it is a contribution. It'll
Right.
suggest some contributions, so you could do it. The content that you visually see is free. It's
Okay.
it's the information you don't see that is not. So if you
Okay.
okay,
But it's all explained on the site?
it kind of walks you through it. It'll make suggestions, and it's very nominal right now. Once we get to some really good content, that might change. The content now is great too. So
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
Robert?
Yes.
Robert?
Who's saying that?
Well, I am, and I don't have my camera on. This is Marlis. I
Oh.
got an email yesterday, said something about a concert this afternoon at 4 o'clock.
Yes,
From
there
you.
was a special event that I am doing today for our top of the line students that I did last minute, because right behind me is something I've never had before in the last year, should I say. Oh, you can't see it. Let me just
There's a bunch of snow back there.
It's a batch of snow. Let me clean up the snow. Take my snow plow out here. Give me a second here. I got to clean up the snow. Okay. Whew.
That was quick.
I'm pretty fast. I work really hard around here. Yeah, so
Icebreaker.
that is there was a special, I'm doing a special show for a certain group of students. So yes, if you got that email, you better be there or I'll know who you are.
Okay, is that going to be a concert or is it going to be a sales thing? I mean, do I want to
Yes.
invite a friend?
It's only the people who are invited. And yes, I'm showcasing the marquee like you've never heard before.
Because I have to change my dinner hour.
Well, anything I do is worth coming to, honey.
It's a dinner and a show. That's even better.
Dinner show.
Even when I'm trying to sell stuff, it's worth coming, honey.
Okay. Well, I've got that big
Cancel
organ.
your dinner. It's me.
I'm going to be there at 4
I
o'clock.
wore my special shirt today and my special collar. All
But
right.
my question was, do I want to invite a friend? Are you going? I
No,
mean,
that's for Fletcher Music Center's customers that have.
okay, all righty. I'll tell her not to.
Tell her to come to the show tomorrow.
Yeah,
Okay.
tomorrow would be good.
That one's
Tomorrow's going to have
tomorrow's
all
show
the.
is open to the entire world.
Okay, all righty, got that.
We gotta do
Thank you.
some. We have to do some stuff just for Fletcher people.
You do.
Look, now I have to tell you, Dawn is like aching to play here. Look at her. She's like, I want to play already.
I have a
I'm-
class at 2:30.
Go, Dawn, play away.
All right.
Thank you, Dawn.
Oh,
Awesome
you guys are so
job.
welcome. You're so welcome. I'm going to end this with Frosty the Snowman, and then you guys can all go to the beach. And Frosty's in song setup, so use song setup as much as you can. You guys are absolutely awesome. Thanks,
Dawn.
Thank
you so
Dawn.
much.
Thanks to
Thanks,
Jody.
Dawn.
Thanks to
Thanks,
Robert.
Dawn.
Great class,
Thanks to you
Dawn.
guys for being here. And if I
Merry
don't
Christmas.
see you- if I don't see you
Merry
again,
Christmas,
Merry
everybody.
Christmas
Christmas.
to you. Yeah, please.
Merry
Great.
Christmas.
Great class. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you.
Learned a lot.